So the worst YouTube advice, in my opinion, in 2025 is you are your own niche. Now, I am very well aware that this is going to make me sound, or at least combating this advice, makes me sound like an outdated, old school 2015 millennial YouTuber, which I am all those things, okay, who's boring, stale, and isn't creatively like passionate, right? And to be honest, the reason why I feel so compelled to talk on this topic and explain why it's the most toxic advice for new creators is for one reason and one reason only. And that is because I have 4 little kids aged 8 and under. I'm pregnant with baby number 5 due in 9 days. So if I'm out of breath, I've already filmed this intro 100 times. That is why, okay? And I don't have a lot of time on my hands. I find that almost, if not every single one of these huge influencers, huge like YouTube gurus that are really pushing this advice, they're either men who want to work all the time, or, which there's nothing wrong with that, no shade to them, or they just don't have kids, okay? I have so many little kids, I homeschool all of them. I basically don't want to treat my YouTube channel as like this passion-filled project that hopefully makes money one day. I would rather reverse it and ask myself, how can I make the most amount of money with the least amount of time? And the other reason why I wanted to talk on this topic is because I actually did it the first way for 6 years on my main channel. I posted whatever I felt called to, whatever I felt aligned with, all of the very soft Gen Z words. I literally invented that back in the day, just in my own mind. And I did YouTube as a passion-filled project. I vlogged my life. I was like the OG mommy YouTuber. Don't shade me. I didn't know any better, all right? And so I actually scaled that business model with this advice that I now find, I guess, toxic for me and my values to $20,000 a month. My husband quit his job. I mean, we did the whole YouTuber shebang, and I ended up burning out like every other creator that adopts this advice, because the only way you can really scale that business model is by trading your time for money, aka you need more views to scale your business. And so we kind of totally threw that model in the trash, the whole you are your own niche, post whatever you want, in favor of doing it the opposite way. And it aligns with our family values so much more. I'm able to work 1 day a week and scale this YouTube channel with my husband to 7 figures. And I work some naps and some nights, obviously, but we're able to create this amazing life for ourselves because we've gone against the grain and have not adopted that advice any longer. And that's kind of like what we teach on this channel. It's not that I want to strip people of all of their passion, their love for their niche, and pigeonhole themselves to talk about one thing for 10 years. You definitely don't have to do that. You do have to treat your YouTube channel from day one like the business it could be if you want to turn it into a 6 or 7 figure business. And you don't want to have to trade your time for views or like dollars on YouTube. And we actually teach people how to do that in so many different niches, not just make money online or YouTube tips. Okay, it's like gardening, homesteading, homeschooling, homemaking. And we found that the more children our students have and the least amount of time they work, the more that they're willing to work within their constraints, treat their YouTube channel like a business, no matter the niche that they're in, and they're able to actually make more money the more kids they have. And so today I'm basically going to talk about why this toxic advice really burns out so many new creators and what we do instead and what we teach our students instead, which is basically the one problem, one solution, one product rule that will help you go into any niche, even if you are passion-filled and even if you do love it, but you can still turn it into a 6 or 7 figure business by not posting whatever you want and expecting a different result. But if you guys are new here, my name is Haley, and on this channel, I basically teach content creators how to not be YouTubers and just like get AdSense checks and sponsorships. I've already done that, and it's really just such a nightmare if you have a bunch of little kids. You work all the time, I should know, but you basically leverage YouTube for the business opportunity that it has by selling your own digital products so that you can scale your business no matter how many views you have and no matter how much time you don't. And so if that interests you, subscribe down below, and let's go ahead and get into the granular details of why this is very toxic advice if you want to actually scale your YouTube channel like a business, and what to do instead. So there's 2 big reasons why this is very harmful advice to new creators that want to actually turn a profit. The first one has to do with why you're not growing if you're adopting this advice. And the second reason is why you can never get paid probably past 6 figures or multiple six figures, but you're still working like 40 to 50 hours a week to make that money. I should know. And I have a lot of colleagues and students that work those kinds of hours. And so if you have any resemblance of values placed in the home, it's impossible to hold fast to those values if you choose the traditional YouTuber path. So let's go ahead and talk first about why this is detrimental advice if you want to grow a massive YouTube channel. So the first thing I have to call out, which makes me sound like a really annoying person, I know. But if you look at all of the YouTubers that are huge, that are pushing this advice, if you sort their videos from highest views to smallest views, remember, I love these people. They give so many good advice. I mean, love is not the right word, but I admire them as like colleagues in the industry. I think that what they're doing is amazing and they're very smart people. They know how to grow, right? But if you sort their videos from highest to lowest views, they amassed almost all of their audience, yes, you know what I'm gonna say, I think, within one niche, okay? So when they say you can talk about whatever you want, be a niche of one, they didn't necessarily do that for the first couple of years of their YouTube or social media journey. And so you have to understand that where they're at now is not the belief system that they adopted from day one. If you were to actually follow their literal advice as far as how to grow, it's you'd stick to one niche for as long as you want to grow, and then you can talk about whatever you want and maintain that audience, but you're not necessarily going to grow at the most rapid rate talking about whatever you want. But the reason why it's hard for you to get views when you talk about everything under the sun or even like multiple different like interests is because people that come to your channel for one topic, they're not going to be interested in the rest of your content. And so your views are going to look like up, down, and all around. And eventually they're going to plateau. This happened to me and a lot of my colleagues, and go down. And so if you want a YouTube business in the traditional sense where you're getting more views and getting paid more and needing to maintain those views, that is totally fine. But you want to make sure that you're creating content within one central niche so that the majority of your audience is willing to watch everything you put out. And I've talked about this in other videos, but it's this idea of creating like episodic, I say it wrong every time I have to look it up, episodic content, where if you put out something Monday, they're going to also be interested in Wednesday's YouTube video because they're related to each other. When you have that snowball effect because you chose to talk on one specific central topic, you will grow so much faster because your audience gives the algorithm a boost. And when you put out a video, your audience is like, I'm watching it. Therefore, the YouTube algorithm pushes it out to all of these new eyeballs. So that is the first reason why it is so imperative to post within one central niche to grow really fast. The second reason, though, has more to do with you actually turning this into a legit scalable business to where if you put your head on your pillow at night, this is my situation right now, and you have a herd of children, maybe this is just a me thing, you don't feel scared, okay? You don't feel scared that like next month you're not gonna make as much money or to pay your bills or to scale your business or to pay for that new employee you hired. And you know that if you just consistently put out these types of videos, you're going to get a predictable income amount. And for me, for the first 5 years of doing my main channel, I never felt like I could rest my head on my pillow comfortably at night and feel a sense of peace, feel a sense of security. It always felt like I had a metaphorical YouTube noose around my neck, which was I need more views. I need more views in order to make more money, in order to keep my money at the same, because I was posting on a variety of different topics. And so the solution to number 2 is you want to become an authority. It's not only that you need to get more views or maintain your views, it's that you ideally, if you want a scalable business, you sell your own products, which is really what I like to talk about on this channel. That's what's freed my family the most. This is really the number one factor that comes into play when I'm able to scale a 7-figure business on this smaller channel, working one day a week, because I sell my own digital products. I'm not reliant on sponsorships, aka needing to get more views so the sponsors pay me more, which I did for 5 years. So the way that you sell your own products is you do not look like a jack of all trades. So that means Monday you're posting like a grocery haul, Wednesday you're posting like a cleaning video, Friday you're posting a vlog. You aren't really known for one core central solution to a common problem, which to make you look like an authority. And so the bottom line to that is you can't sell your own products, aka the information that is in your head, making it hard for you to turn it into a business. So random content equals equals random income and an unscalable business. So what do you do instead? So to recap, the first step is to post within one core central niche and also consistently post those types of videos and sell your own product. But the second step is to be known for one specific solution. So if you want to stand out on social media, here is the antidote. Be known for one problem you solve, one solution you offer, and one product you sell. I want to give you guys some live examples of the people we've helped and how we've transformed their business by really adopting this model. So the first one I reference a lot lately because she's had such rapid success in real time. And this is Ashley Bufa. Okay, so Ashley Bufa is a mother of 11 kids, you guys. She is like my role model. She's goals. And she homeschools, or she has homeschooled all 11 of them and still is. She has like a baby at home. And so her channel before was all over the map. She, I think, got rid of a lot of videos. I watch her, even if she's my student, like every single week, but can't see a lot of what she was posting before. But it was, you know, grocery hauls, it was vlogs, it was life updates, you know, kind of like the more lifestyle influencer, mommy YouTuber path. But remember, we taught Ashley to basically be known for one problem that you solve and the solution you offer. And so now, instead of posting whatever she wants and hoping to sell a digital product here and there, she's scaling one revenue stream, which is her online course and coaching program, which is Systems for Moms in Homeschooling. So now all of her content has to do with homeschooling. She's set up as an authority. Now she doesn't have a massively viral channel, but she literally has gone from no course sales at all, never selling anything, to rebranding her channel to homeschooling specifically and selling a product that now is making her a full-time income. And she does it when her kids are like having quiet time. It's amazing. And so that's just one example, but another one, now he's on Instagram. You can adopt this in any niche, but this is Bolter Design Co. So Philip Bolter is a student of ours and he is able to post on anything he wants in relation to art. Maybe not anything, but he is like an amazing artist. He does all the different types of art that I don't even know the names for. But when we helped him sort of rebrand and create his course and coaching program, he realized that his specialty is in gouache painting. Now I'm going to butcher that word, but it's underserved, untapped, and it's his thing. It's what makes him stand out. It's what calms the mind. Like he has all these benefits to gouache painting, and that's how he can sell so many courses. Again, he can post on anything he feels like because he's a legit artist, but he has chosen to become specialized in one field so that he can actually turn it into a business. And the third example is another student of ours, Jess, in parenting. She's Nurtured First on Instagram. They have a podcast as well. She can literally, I mean, she's a therapist, like a certified one, and you don't have to be, but she can talk on anything. But we helped her create this program and rebrand actually a program that was hard to sell at the time. And she teaches people how to reparent yourself to raise kids differently. So it's not just like a bland parenting course, it's reparenting yourself at the core. And she sells those like hotcakes. I believe she's a seven-figure, maybe even multiple seven-figure business at this point. It's been a while. And so if you notice that all three of these people have very unique, novel solutions to a common problem. And that is the key to standing out. Like I said, you can obviously attach yourself to a niche all day, do like a generalized parenting 101 toddlers, but it's not going to sell if you don't have a novel, unique approach to people's common problem. The other thing you have to know is that when it comes to creating a solution or a product, like a digital or even a physical product, anything that you're trying to sell, you are selling every single day in your content. So even if you're like, I don't want to sell courses, I don't want to sell coaching, you should be selling yourself every day on YouTube if you want to get views, and even if you want to be a traditional YouTuber with a sponsorship path. People only want to watch other people that are inspirational, that give them new information, and that is how you stand out. And also, a lot of people think that you need to have all these credentials and certifications to sell their own product, but you just need a new unique angle. So for me, I sell a YouTube course and coaching program. I teach people how to grow on YouTube, how to stand out, but also how to sell digital products. So that, you already know the whole shtick. I've said it a million times. But the way that I do it differently is I teach people that have a values first approach to business. So the anti-hustle grind mindset, they want to work probably one day a week like I do, very minimally, and still scale a business to 6 and 7 figures, mothers, parents, people that aren't just obsessed with like analytics and wanting to scale to $100 million. They want a very balanced life. And so because of that, I capture all the people that want the same type of outcome for their families as I do. And so it's all about like what you stand for and really backing that type of solution in every single video. And so I'm going to leave you guys with this. It's so important I wrote it down, okay? The point of all of this is the jack of all trades creator gets ignored, but the focus creator gets trusted, remembered, and paid. The third thing you need to do if you want to flip the script on this advice is your income model must come before your content strategy. I say this to all my students when they're looking to go into a niche. I'm like, before you commit to this niche, you need to know that the way you make content on YouTube literally determines how you live your life. So for instance, the reason why I chose these like just boring, they're not like drone shots, they're not vlogs, they're not like B-roll everywhere and with a beautiful voiceover with birds chirping. They're more just cut and dry YouTube videos, very factual, right? Opinion based, but they're not something that is aesthetically vibing. That is because this is the way I want to live my life. And so when you're looking at going into a niche, you have to look at so many different facets other than do I like it? It's like, is the way that the content is required to be created on YouTube reflecting my values? If yes, then continue forward, right? It's like playing Monopoly. So for me and my values and having a lot of kids I homeschool, I chose to commit to doing these types of YouTube videos because although I could get more views and scale faster and all these things by working 40 hours a week on creating the most baller YouTube tips video ever, which I absolutely can, it would sacrifice time with my kids. And so that money potential is just not worth it. So if you cannot consistently create content in a way that's conducive to your values, you're eventually going to self-sabotage. And so if you're sitting there wondering like, why am I not consistent? Why am I plateaued with views? Why does it feel like pulling teeth for me to get ready to film this video, to set up the light boxes and whatever? It's because the way you create content is not the way you want to live your life. So oftentimes, if you have a values first business approach, you will potentially, like I had to, sacrifice some of the passion and some of the creative freedom to give more of your time to the things that matter to you in your life while also scaling your business. So views does not equal monetary freedom. Alignment with your content does, and the niche that you pursue. So for instance, one of our students, Angela Braniff, okay, so she is like an amazing type of, I guess, role model or I don't know, inspiration for me. She's been doing YouTube for like a decade plus. She's switched in so many different niches, and I can only surmise because I don't talk to her every day, obviously, but she's gone from like homeschooling to homesteading to vlogs, and now she's doing beauty and fashion for women over 40. And I ponder, and maybe I doubt she's gonna watch this, but I wonder like, why does she make the switch to something like that? I could only surmise it's because she can bang out these videos without having it affect her family life. Hence why maybe she wants to post on all of these topics, but she's able to create this massive business by sticking to one niche or a couple, a central niche, and film these sit down videos away from her family. She gets it done quick, and she's still able to scale her business. And it's taken her probably years, I don't know, but it's taken her years to come to that realization, which is the same thing that I had to realize. It's like the way you create content is the way you live your life. And so if it's hard to create the content, it's hard to scale. If it's hard to make money from the content because you're relying on views, you're going to burn out. So looking and analyzing at the niche and the income models surrounding the niche and seeing if it aligns with the constraints that are forced upon you or that are chosen by your value system is so imperative, because you will not scale something, and I've worked with thousands of YouTubers, if it goes against your values. And so it's better to just be like, these are my constraints. This is the boundary that I have to work in, and can I make this work within this niche? If yes, then proceed forward. So the last thing I wanted to end on is basically how to systemize this for your own channel. If you want to adopt this advice, if you want to choose a niche that aligns with your lifestyle and your constraints and your values, you want to sell your own products, like where the heck do you start? So there are 3 very simple steps, and I'm going to break them down. The first one is to pick one problem. All right. If you try to solve everything, people are not going to buy anything from you because you don't look trustworthy. Everybody knows that all humans with a beating heart have strong opinions. So when you go out on YouTube and you're just posting whatever is gonna get views, just chasing trends, it looks like not only are you a jack of all trades, but you don't have authority to one specific solution. And if you don't have an opinion, you're not trustworthy because that's just not a real human being, right? So back to picking one problem. Here are some great examples of this, okay? One of our students, Courtney, grows food. And I talk about these people recently because they're currently getting sales and views right now, and we're helping them at the moment. She was in the gardening niche, right? She was posting about literally anything, how to pull weeds, like how to grow certain vegetables, whatever was in season at the time. She was just documenting basically her life gardening. And so we had to create a system around a specific problem and a specific solution so that she isn't just a random gardener that just, documents things, but that she's an authority and can actually get sales to a specific product, okay? So she was in gardening before. Now, this is what we realigned her to, okay? Her mission. You have to have a mission behind all of your videos. Like obviously, as you can tell from mine, it's like I teach parents or people that have limited time, that have potentially Christian-based values is what I really lean on, how to create a YouTube leverage business. So that's my mission. That's who I speak to in every single video, even if the titles aren't that way. And so for Courtney, it's very specific. And it should be very specific to you and your story. So for Courtney, she's a single mom of, I think, 3 kids. She homeschools. But she basically now doesn't just teach you how to garden. She teaches families to grow food in a backyard garden to save money. So she worked within her constraints, right? At first, she was like, I don't have like 5 acres. I'm not a real homesteader like she once was. And I'm like, well, great. That's only going to work to your benefit because now you can help people in their suburban backyard garden save money on groceries by growing some of their food. So she's not 100% self-sustainable like some of our students, but that only works to her benefit. So you have to work within your constraints by picking one problem that you can solve. You don't solve all of them. Like I don't teach you how to do ads. I don't teach you how to go do podcasting because I don't want to, and that's not my expertise, which only makes me more trustworthy. Trust me. Okay, so the mission built Courtney's products. This is why she can sell her course, because she's now trustworthy, she's an authority, and she solves a specific problem with a unique solution no one has considered before. So remember that part. If you want to sell your program like hotcakes, you have to come up with a unique solution that no one has considered before based on your story and all these things. And we obviously teach that. So another example of this is Meryl DeMilo. So Meryl was in like the Christian life niche, and she realigned to biblical budgeting, which is something that is a very sticky sub niche right now. I talk about how to attach yourself to growing trending niches. I'll link that video up here and down below. Definitely watch it. Because if you're like, I don't even know how to create a novel solution, it starts with like a sticky sub niche. It's something I coined, but definitely watch that video. But anyways, Meryl picked something that basically had a very high demand and a low supply of videos, which was biblical budgeting. That realigned focus helped her gain traction almost overnight. So the step one, pick your problem. The second step is to create one novel solution. And step 3 is build your content around that solution. So authority comes from repetition, not randomness. Because when you talk on, and I think you get this by now, but a bunch of different topics, and it looks like you don't have an opinion, you just sway with whatever's going viral, it's hard to sell products because no one trusts you. So that's step 3. But step 4 is align one product with that solution. So a course, a workshop, digital asset, that's what we call it, right? Membership or coaching. Without these things, you're trapped in needing to get views, needing to go viral, and it's a very hard business model to scale if you have any resemblance of family values like we do. So the point of this video is you're not going to want to be your own niche. If you want to create a scalable YouTube business, you want to be the solution for people. And ideally it's novel and you have authority around that solution. But if you guys got value from this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.